good.
First time on air. Anything to say to Lawan here to get him back?
Look, bro, there are stories I could tell people about Lawan, but we'll keep those right here. I'm gonna let him live.
That's not even close. It's not
Man, I'm a dumbass.
Georgia,
I'm clipping that.
Georgia's second.
Hey, Georgia also had Herschel Walker.
So smart, and my team is so dumb. My coach he looks dumb. He's a big baby. This man
Those graphics.
Rip, so smart.
Episode 230. Me and Devontae in the pub. I think Fitz is going to join us a little bit later. Man, what a show. We got recap of the Natty. We got a little college ball talk. We obviously top bets, obviously AFC, NFC Championship games coming up. It's going to be a good show, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Have a little snow on the ground. Life's good for us.
Yeah. Every day we get to see snow. We finally got our little January snow.
Yeah, right?
So,
Dude, we didn't have a flake last year. Now it's like, okay. Like, I know it was only like an inch and a half, but it's like, all right, at least it's something.
I'm kind of mad, but like we kind of know, like if we didn't get any snow, but it was that you remember those windy days where it was just like blowing and cold, and like it was so cold it kind of like cut you a little bit.
Yeah, just miserable.
Yeah, so like all that cold with no snow, and then it finally paid off now twice, I guess.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna talk some college ball. We're gonna start basketball. We wanted to get to it last week. We just didn't get the opportunity to. So graphic might be a little dated, but that's on me. Devontae, I trust you. Ball's in your court. I'm gonna get out the lane and let you play ISO here.
Yeah. So we got the AP Top 25. As far as games, the biggest one, I guess, on our side in the Carolinas, we saw that Wake Forest has upset the almighty UNC. And on top of that, UNC, they started the season ranked pretty high. I want to say they were top 10, and they showed who they are throughout the season. They beat State by 1, and then Wake Forest came around and beat them by 1 by pretty much, I'm almost positive it was the same score, 67-66. Which means in 2 halves of college basketball, which is 20 minutes each, they only scored 66 points.
Yeah.
That times ahead. On the same side, we got Duke still rolling, still showing the talent. They are in the top 5, not 5, they're number 3. So right now, the ACC and SEC is kind of getting weird. ACC basketball used to be way more competitive. It's not really showing that right now. But with the Big East, with like UConn and Villanova and stuff, last year they shook it up. This year they're doing much of the same. We got UConn. I'm pretty sure they got beat by 1 by Georgetown. Not too long ago, which, man. So pretty much this whole NIL thing, free trade market thing has really shaken up all of the sports world. Right now, Florida is playing USC, and just like how USC, U of SC, just like I guess U of SC, how they did during the football season, nobody really expected them to do much just because of tradition. But now, like, they're still shaking stuff up in the SEC for basketball as well. Like, they've been playing teams close that they weren't supposed to. They're up by 2 now.
Yeah.
But college basketball is back, man. It's kind of fun now. There's not a particular number one. Like, I know Auburn is number 1. They're kind of shaky too. So it's kind of cool to see like it's anybody's game, but we'll see how far that goes. We have less than 2 months until March. You already know what that means. So make sure you do your homework, do your studying, try to build the best bracket you can.
Yeah, your film review. Dude, it's wild. I'm glad you said something like SEC. I know when we were growing up, SEC was like, okay, you had Kentucky maybe in the mix.
Just Kentucky. For real.
Yeah, Florida, there was like odd years when they went back to back, but like other than that, like they were a joke. It was the Big 12 and ACC, and now the script's flipped. And I kind of enjoy it this way. I like it.
It's everybody. And like now, especially because even last year, I mean, the Pac-12 got a little more.
Yeah.
I mean, they were low scoring games. They got a little more competitive. But now, like, you take some of those teams like Oregon, like, they're ranked. Last year, like, I never saw that coming. But this year, they're ranked in the top 20, which I see it. Like, they're a pretty good team, and I think people are sleeping on them. And then USC, they're not ranked right now, but I think in due time they will crack in the top 25 at some point. And then you had the other side with UCLA, who used to be the powerhouse, and like they actually had the coach call them out. So to have those teams come from Pac-12 into the Big Ten is really shaking some stuff up. Like we don't see Ohio State, who is that? Illinois is coming down a bit. So I don't know. It's some pretty good stuff. I don't know who has like across the board hoops. Across the board hoops as far as conferences. It used at one point it used to be the ACC somewhat.
Yeah.
At one point it used to be big. Actually, last year to me it was the Big East. Big East is still doing pretty well for itself, but this year it might go back to the Big Ten with your Ohio States and your Michigans and stuff. Michigan State for
Michigan
sure.
States, Illinois. Yeah, man. I think you're on something. I took your advice.
Oh.
Last week I took my L's in college basketball. This week, watched a little film, watched a little recent games. Right now I'm feeling great. Like I took South Carolina plus 11.5. Took Xavier plus 12. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Like Devontae's on his stuff right here, so I love it.
Oh, you took South Carolina men's basketball?
Yeah, plus 11.5. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you might have it.
We're cashing. We're good right now.
Yeah.
But shout out to you. I had to give you flowers there. All right. Big baseball news today. 3 guys get in the Hall of Fame. Ichiro, guy. Yeah, your boy, Mariner. He gets in 9 votes shy of being unanimous. If you're those 9 guys, you got to be kicking yourself. Like,
how many votes, like, in total is it? Do you know?
I'm going to let you talk and I'll look it up.
So, yeah, because 9 votes shy is kind of crazy because it's like, who else would you put in over Ichiro Suzuki, man? Like, he put Seattle on the map. Well, I take it back. That was Griffey, of course. But then, like, it wasn't just always him. And then to have the man, like, get his votes and, like, what little flowers they wanted to give him, he was still crying for it. Hell of a baseball player, trendsetter.
394 votes.
So 394 votes in total, and 9 people out of 394. You said 394, right?
Yeah.
9 people out of 394 wanted to. They probably said some bullshit name that only like real baseball purists know.
Right.
I'm not even gonna call a name because I don't know any. I make up a name like Randall Cobb, even though that's a football player, but I bet you it's a player somewhere too.
Yeah. You're not wrong. I'm looking through. So like baseball does, like, you have 10 years to get in the Hall of Fame. After that, you get dropped. And like, I'm going to say this as a guy who doesn't watch a lot of baseball. Not a lot of big names that I recognize, like Brian McCann. Okay, that's the only one I'm like, okay, that's the only name I recognize out of the guys that got dropped here. But who joins Ichiro? CC Sabathia and Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner was actually his 10th year to get in there. So shout out to these 3 guys. I remember growing up with CC Sabathia and Ichiro. Didn't watch Bobby Wagner. He was before our time a little bit. But I love it. I think Ichiro is the first Japanese-born player to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I just look at the finalists, and I feel like we're getting old when I start recognizing some of these names. I know I said it before with like basketball, but like I actually know some of the stuff from my dad in football. But Jimmy Rollins, bro.
Whoa, yeah.
Jimmy Rollins, Dustin Pedroia, David Wright. I specifically remember the Black Mets, David Wright. Specifically remember that. Torrey Hunter, Chase Utley. Alex Rodriguez, come on now. So yeah, time is swiftly moving for sure.
And it does not forgive.
No.
Looking ahead 2026, the guy who's on the chopping block, Manny Ramirez. He's going to be in his final year coming up next year.
Man.
I know. Matt Kemp will be a first type of guy for next year.
I know that.
Ryan Braun. Buster Posey in 2027. Yeah, man, we're getting old. Damn, we're getting old. Andrew Jones going to his final year of 2027.
Carlos Beltran.
Golly, man.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm just now seeing they got the year on the ballot. So yeah, Billy Wagner's is 10. Yeah, Manny Ramirez has one more. So Billy Wagner doesn't get it this time, but I think he's up 82.5%.
Yeah, he gets it. He's officially in.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude, Pujols in 2028. He'll be a first year guy.
Bro, we saw his whole career. That's insane.
That's insane. Damn. We're old, Devontae. We're old.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna go into NFL coaching hires. No. Let's go college football. Give Fitz hopefully a little time to talk about it.
Yeah.
Ohio State 34, Notre Dame 23. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. I did have a parlay on it that didn't hit, but such as
both.
But it actually it wasn't bad.
No,
it kind of went as we expected. It was competitive enough. Riley Leonard put on the show. That man ran harder than both of his running backs pretty much. Like he did. He pretty much was. I didn't know Will Howard was that fast. I don't know what happened with Notre Dame, but I swear I didn't know Will Howard was like that, and not fast, quick. Like he got the ball and was running. I was like, I swear I don't remember this from the season.
Right.
I guess Chip Kelly just pulled that out. Like, oh, we're gonna show you what sneaky athletic really means, and pulled him out the woodwork. And he played for Kansas State. I swear I don't remember that. I just remember him going. But it was a good game. Quinshon Judkins. This would make the second Power 5 conference that he's dominating through rushing. Because I remember him from Ole Miss, and I didn't think he would leave, and he did, and he kept it up. So that was pretty cool to see. As far as Notre Dame, I don't know. I kind of expected it, to be honest. Like at this point, it's Notre Dame. But we can also say that for Ohio State. But Ohio State pretty much has that pedigree, which Notre Dame kind of does too. But it was a little bit before our time,
right?
And I honestly think it was one of those things where like Ohio State had more depth. So, they have the players now, but, think about the wide receiver class. That was Marvin Harrison, Mecca, that's the wide receiver now. Garrett Williams, Jameson Williams had to transfer. So, it's like you have wide receiver rooms like that, it's no question of depth. Like, if somebody gets tired, you can at least slide in another wide receiver, too, and nobody will notice because, it's still rolling. Same for defense. Defense showed up, too. Had a Fat Boy pick up that fumble. So that was pretty cool to see. Always cool to see.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think a lot of people are talking about, because you're talking about the depth of the roster and Ohio State just they just have the dudes. They were the highest paid out to NIL deals.
Damn.
Team. And so in a way they bought their championship, right?
Right.
So a lot of people are like, all right, this changes the game. But I don't think it, for the past 2-3 years, I don't think it's changed much. Obviously, you pay your best players and you hope to get an natty. It's Ohio State's first one to capitalize on it.
People have to stop acting naive. He balled. His players what do you mean, bro? The first leg of your parlay just said South Carolina only lost. But anyway, we have to stop acting like money is changing things. Yeah, it changed things because more people were allowed to use the money they had, or they were able to be more loud. with the money
Exactly.
that they have. So like now that the playing field is level, people are trying to discredit championships and conference tournaments and stuff like that. And it's very messy because it's like we should be hypocritical like this. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
But it was even still like Ohio State, they had a whole documentary about improper benefits and they try to deny it or whatever. So like
Tattoo gate.
it's always there. And it's also kind of cool to see how there are teams who benefited from like secret paying.
Mm-hmm.
How like they're still good without secretly playing their players. Like initially we thought UGA was going to be that team, but
yeah,
it's kind of going down. Just like with Bama, that went straight down. With UGA, it kind of tapered off, but Bama kind of went straight down. So,
yeah. At least the Bama that we come to know.
Right. Like dominant. But I don't know. I like to see it,
Yeah.
For the love of money.
Dude, I 100%. Like, why not? You brought up Chip Kelly. Did you know him and Ryan Day go way back to like when Ryan Day was a quarterback at New Hampshire University?
Yeah. So usually when I watch the game, I do the Skycast, so I don't have to hear the commentary.
Yeah.
And so this time I didn't do that. So like I did find that out. And I wonder what type of coach he was, because listening to LaShawn McCoy.
Right, that Philadelphia Eagles team.
Yeah, and so like I'm wondering, like, did you really rock with him enough to like hire your old coach back? Like,
right.
My football coaches were pretty cool. But I don't know if I rock with him enough to be like, hey man, I need you. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. Especially like I feel like when Chip Kelly got the job, I was like, Ryan Day's just like helping this guy out here.
Yeah.
Like it won't really work out, but it's worked out. It's pretty impressive. All right.
Oh wait, speaking of college ball, I saw a news article saying how they were trying to make it like the conference tournaments, like the ACC conference tournaments and stuff for college football. They're trying to make it so that the number one seed has a bye, and basically the second and third play in the conference tournament, so that the first place automatically gets that 12 CFP bid. So it's like they don't even play for that conference tournament, so they can lose their conference tournament and still like get put in.
Yeah, and that's wild.
It's Clemson. It's Clemson's fault. Like Clemson's basically trying to pick on SMU for making it over Bama, and they trying to make them pay for it. And it's stuff like that makes me realize that sometimes it comes to a point where like it has to stop, bro. Like all the favoritism stuff, it has to stop.
And like, I know you're a state guy, but like the ACC proposing that is such a snowflake, like bullshit thing. Yeah. It's wild, man.
ACC been in the news way too much. We've been quiet for a while. Like the stuff they've been in the news for is messy, like messy as hell. Like first with the Florida State, and initially we think, oh, they have a point, but then like you want to be realistic, like. Well, I don't want to see that, and like you honestly shouldn't put your players through that shit. Like you already got the ACC title, and I know you work. You see both sides. You see it as a coach, and then you see it as like just somebody on the outside. And like they got their asses whooped, and it was bad. So I don't know.
So bad. Yeah. I have nothing else to add to that because you said it perfectly. All right. NFL coaching hires. We got two of them. Tim's Detroit Lions, they lose both coordinators. Ben Johnson, that news broke first. He goes officially Chicago Bears. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but a little beep, beep, a little honk, honk. I said it was the best landing spot for Ben Johnson because all the cap space, because the young talent. It made sense. Plus, he knew his division. And like, I think you agreed with it. Fitz felt some type of way, but I think his NFC North bias kind of got in the way there. I love this hire for the Bears. Does it change anything? They'll win at least a few more games. I'm not sure if it fixed the whole organization, but I think it's the right track for him.
Yeah. It seemed like the easiest call too, because it's like it was the opening. They needed a head coach. They needed somebody to pretty much get the offense together. somebody to figure out, like somebody with a weird mind to figure out the offense. And like it's the Detroit Lions offense wasn't weird, but like it worked and it kind of fit how I guess the younger players have played, like Amon-Ra and Jamo. Like they're basically just like really fast, but they're skilled. And like you have to use people's skill. Like Sam Laporta, like I didn't think he would snap how he's been doing. And so I think Ben Johnson will, like Caleb Williams didn't do bad.
No.
He didn't do bad considering all the things that happened. So it'll be cool to see what he does for Caleb. And for that offense, because like they have some pieces around Caleb now with Keenan, I was about to say Keenan Williams, but
Keenan Allen.
So yeah, Keenan Allen, Keenan Allen and DJ themselves, like that's already a good
Roma Dunzen.
Yeah. Roma, yeah. So that's 3. And then Cole Kmet kind of gets lost in the shuffle, but like he comes out whenever he's needed. But I also like this comment where he said, like, what did he say about Matt LaFleur? He specifically pointed out Matt LaFleur.
Oh, man.
That's why I said Fitz has his first op. This man came from your hometown and you think you're supposed to support, and he spits on your nose with that statement. So you got Fitz has his first op, and it's being.
I'm gonna look that quote up because you're right. You just sent it to us.
Yeah.
At lunchtime. He's enjoyed being the Packers. But what exactly does he say?
To be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoy beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
That's it. Yeah.
And so, like, imagine him doing it as a Bears coach. Oh my God, Fitz would have to fly.
I love it.
Real.
And on the other side of the Detroit Lions ball, their DC, Aaron Glenn, gets back to New York where he played ball at, becomes the Jets head coach. I like this hire for the Jets too.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I remember him because of Madden. I remember because in Madden, this was like when he was in the tail end of his career, he was like an 87. And you remember when Madden had the symbols and stuff with like a lock and stuff? Aaron Glenn had a lock. So he was like a lockdown corner even in his old age. So like
you're right about that.
I do remember him. That was like tail end, might have been for the Buccaneers. I can't remember, but this was a good call for them too. Having Aaron Glenn and then like Sauce Gardner has been getting shit on for real. Like Sauce Gardner has been getting shit on bad because they were saying like he shouldn't have got that defensive rookie of the year because I think they said he held every play. So at least on the defensive end, like they said the Jets always hire defensive minded coaches. And the offense kind of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit, but you know, maybe with Aaron Glenn being around the offense, like the Lions, maybe he can, I don't know, maybe he can shake some things up right there, but I think it'll definitely help out the Jets. Yeah, I definitely think it'll help out the Jets here, but I do wonder who's going to be on his staff. Like, who is he going to pull from the Lions, you know?
Yeah.
I guess that's the mark of a good coach with Dan Campbell, like all his good coaches leaving. But
yeah, I think you take it as a compliment.
Yeah. It kind of hurts though, because it's like, damn, what am I going to do next season?
Oh, for real. Yeah, I feel like it's like, damn if you do, but it's like good for them, good for like my pedigree, my coaching tree,
right?
But shitty for me at the same time. I'm with you. But you know what? I think Dan Kimball's one of those cats that he attracts really good coaches and talent and guys who are hungry to get their nod. Because like you think of Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson going into this, like before like last year, maybe 2 years ago, you really didn't know about him. Like you knew Aaron Glenn from Madden and like his playing time. Ben Johnson, I only knew him because he went to our rival high school. Yeah. And obviously he's a little bit older than us, but I just knew him as an 828 great, like an Asheville legend. So
for the longest, I only knew Dan Campbell from like when he had long hair playing for the Cowboys. And
yeah, dude, his Metallica
look. Up on that interim head coach game he had for the Dolphins, and he won.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
I wish I know it's past Tim's bedtime. Maybe he'll listen and hit us up with his thoughts on this, losing the two coordinators. But I love it, man. I think it's good for them. So this leaves 4 vacancies out there. Cowboys. A lot of people are saying Coach Prime.
I've been seeing that, and I've been seeing they've been high on Kellen Moore, and I've heard Cowboys fans saying if Kellen Moore is the guy, they would no longer be Cowboys fans. And I know deep down they don't really mean that, but like
Right.
I think this is the closest they've been to like meaning that shit. And I don't know. But yeah, I mean Dion with the Cowboys, I mean the Cowboys do sort of need a resurgence. And
Yeah,
Gary does need he doesn't need the money, but it's like Brandon. Like Dion is really good for a brand, and Cowboys is like it's a brand because it's a tradition. It's basically one of the stars off the American flag at this point. But as far as Brandon with the youth, like they don't care about the Super Bowls that happened before they were born. They don't care. They don't know nothing about Tony Romo at this point.
no.
So, like they don't know who the Cowboys are, and so like once you have that generation that don't know what the Cowboys used to be, then they're not gonna be anything. Because I'm pretty sure that's pretty much what happened. Who was like with the Dolphins?
Yeah,
The Dolphins just now started being good. But yeah, I think he'll be good for Brandon.
And I feel like, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel like out of all these coaches, who's the one to tell Jared to shut the hell up? Is Dion, you know?
Do you
I
think
feel like he can match his energy.
Do you think he does? But like, do you think he will?
Yeah, that's true too. Because he played like he was a player with him or like under him. So
Yeah,
I think of Kellen Moore, like obviously what he's done with Philadelphia, what he did with Dallas before then Philadelphia's OC. Like his resume is the greatest. I think he'd be the best hire for Dallas. But I definitely feel like he'd be a yes man to Jerry. But
yeah,
Prime kind of gives you he might tell him to go fuck off. Maybe.
yeah. But I think Jerry, he seemed like the type that only likes yes men around him, which is probably why his whole family is his associates and colleagues and stuff. So like that's probably why Kellen Moore will get it, because I think Mike McCarthy stayed so long just because like he's kind of dopey looking. So he probably didn't give Jerry much trouble up until now. He was like, you know what? I found my nuts.
Right.
Dropped them on the table. And Jerry didn't like that. So
yeah,
find a fresh young dope in Kellen Moore.
I'm with you on that one. I vibe with that. The next opening, Jacksonville Jaguars. Liam Cohen, he was supposed to be the guy. That's what all reports were indicating. Today he comes out and says, no, I'm returning to Tampa to be their OC again. So everything I've read has been wrong. They've all linked Liam to him. I don't have a clue who would go to Jacksonville.
Do you think Joe Brady would be interested?
So I think he'd definitely be interested. Raiders also, I think the Raiders might be a better fit for him because I feel like they're a quarterback away from being, hey, these guys can go, a quarterback and a coach.
Yeah.
Obviously what he's done with Buffalo as their OC, I feel like he could be the guy. Jacksonville, I feel like it's a little bit more of a rebuild, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's been head coaching, holding touchdown Jesus back and that defense. I don't know.
But then Joe Brady was with the Panthers before he got to the Bills, right? Or
yeah, he was. Yeah,
he was with so like wherever he goes, like the quarterback is pretty good. So like maybe it could work out for him to go to the Jags because you already have an established. I see what you're saying. Like, so he could go to the Raiders and get like a completely new, fresh from the ground up quarterback.
Get his guy. Yeah,
get one that like is established, that hasn't had any consistency in coaching. Whatever improvements he's made as a quarterback was probably just made by himself and his own quarterback coaching, and the fact that his receivers and players around him are better.
Yeah, that's true.
But like that's easier though, because you can clearly see the results. Like this is what he had this season. That he got me. Boom, he's in the top 5 category. So
you might have convinced me. Maybe Jacksonville is the right fit for Joe Brady.
Yeah.
And the other 2 openings, Saints and Raiders. Mike McCarthy's been rumored for New Orleans. I thought Mike would work out in Dallas.
I don't know.
And ever since then, I'm like, all right, maybe he's not good. Because I remember Fitz saying Mike McCarthy's not a good coach. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, he led you to Super Bowl. You should feel good about Mike. And he's like, no, he's not good.
Aaron Rodgers led them to a Super Bowl.
That's exactly what he said.
And I can imagine like Aaron Rodgers telling him like what he was going to do, and he was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know? But they would talk. I saw like some tweets like Alvin Kamara has been quiet. You know what I'm saying? But he said something about who he would want his coach to be. And I don't know what the dude's, I forgot what his name was actually, but that one coach that fussed out the special teams player, like went into midfield and cussed him out all the way to sidelines.
Oh, yeah.
Kamara said he wanted that to be his head coach, which I understand that energy, but you know, you got to pay your roles or pay somebody.
Yeah, holding everybody accountable. Man, yeah, I don't know. This is like the first year where there's been all these openings. I'm like, I know, like, for sure one, Ben Johnson. And, like, I knew Glenn was going to get hired somewhere. I guess it makes sense in New York. But other than that, like, I didn't know. So
it is crazy. They automatically scooped up the Detroit Lions coaches. Like, they're the first two gone.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense, but it's like it's very telling. Like, oh, as soon as y'all, I bet people were praying on it. Like, oh, I can't wait for them to lose so we can go ahead and get this done before somebody else slides in. And
I agree. And if the Bills lose this coming weekend, or if they lose in the Super Bowl, or if they win the Super Bowl, whatever, I bet Joe Brady is scooped up that quick.
Easily.
Yeah.
He's probably already scooped up. They just can't announce it.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Which that puts it like a weird. I couldn't imagine coaching, like being a coordinator, knowing that I'm gonna be a head coach. Like that would fuck with me mentally, being like, oh, I've got to start planning for next year because that's what really matters. But then I want to finish the job here. Like that would be a hard thing for me to balance.
Yeah, but then it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of freeing because it's like, well, I'm not staying here anyway. So it's not like you want to say F it, but you just like, hey, let me see how much I can get out of this right now. So like, if we go all the way, I get a ring. I could lead with a ring.
Right.
Take whatever I used to get that ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hold it off for the playoffs and use it for the next team and, you know, change up some stuff.
Maybe that's what happened in Glenn and Johnson. They were like, hey, we got this thing in the bag. Like, we're good. Let's just see what happens. But they didn't put as much prep into it. They weren't as, like, anal about it. And that's why they got beat like Commanders.
Damn.
Maybe. Big brain. All right. Let's talk about some AFC, NFC championships. Do you want to recap any of the games or do you want to go jump straight into them?
No.
All right.
No, we can just jump right into it. It was wild. I enjoyed the college playoff more than these two games.
Don't let Fitz hear you say that.
I ain't even gonna lie. He'll probably say the same.
You know damn well he'll never say anything good about college football.
He gets on here talking about, oh, I enjoyed the Chiefs game, man.
That's exactly. Yep, I love some good flags. All right, NFC Championship. The Cinderella, the darling of the ball, Commanders traveling up to Philadelphia, 47.5 still under. Philadelphia 6-point favorite. I'm all in on these Commanders. They are exciting. They're fun. It's like the 2010 Redskins. I just hope Daniels has a better history, better luck than RG3 did. But these guys are exciting to watch. I'm going to take Philadelphia to win, but Commanders +6 is tasty.
Yeah. Shoot, I'm very confident on Commanders +6. It was a TikTok. I watched the TikTok on Jaden Daniels. They said this man, like this entire time when he got drafted, one of his stipulations, like no matter who drafted him, they said he'll do whatever the team does, but he has to have his VR training. Come to find out, he's been doing VR training since LSU, I believe. And they said that VR training is the reason why he always looks comfortable, no matter the situation. Like, you ever notice you watch him play, like, everything just seems like a on-air 2-minute drill. And then, like, he just sit there, like, you know, chill. I think that's just him, too, because, like, he was raised by, like, he had his parents, but he always hung around his grandpa. And, like, grandpa kind of eased him out, and his grandpa passed kind of picked up that stuff. But apparently with the science of the VR technology, you get the same way they say Justin Jefferson is eye trained, Justin Jefferson is more natural, but Jaden Daniels was able to pick that up through VR training, and he put Terry McLaurin, and somebody else, one of his other teammates onto it. So like he started doing it, and he got his other teammates onto it, and in the VR training, everything is faster than the NFL. So when he gets out on the field, it's just like not as good varsity team.
Yeah.
So it's like I guess he feels like he's back in high school again, which he's like, well, I'm an NFL player in high school now. So like all that being said, the fact this man uses science, the fact that he's been acting like he's been here, but he's been there before. The fact that his team is healthy, the fact that it is an NFC East matchup, and did they lose to the Eagles last time or did they win?
Yeah.
They lost. So and that was a nasty loss too. So like I know he wants to get it back in blood. And I don't want to see I will be physically ill if I see another Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl. So like please, Jaden.
It'll make me sick.
I need this, bro. Please.
Oh, I apologize. Commanders lost to him the first go around 26-18. They won by 3 points 5 weeks ago.
But it was a weird win, wasn't it? Like something happened.
I think it was sloppy.
Jaden, yeah, that's what it was, sloppy, and Jaden got him on both ends actually. And then Jaden got him to a point where like they just kicked it. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, they scored 22 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
To come back and win.
Yeah. He's got to keep the same energy for real.
All right, so we're saying Commanders +6. Let's make a little mini parlay for the NFC Championship game. So Commanders +6. I'm going to take Terry McLaurin +70 receiving yards.
You got that. Okay. I'll take Zach Ertz anytime TD because it's been holding me down thus far.
Ertz anytime TD. All right, there's our NFC Championship pub parlay. Commanders +6. Terry McLaurin +70 receiving yards. Ertz anytime TD.
Oh, this is another Ertz revenge game too.
Ooh, good call. Big Ertz energy. All right, AFC Championship. I'm excited for this game. I think the whole world is pulling for Buffalo minus Missouri and Kansas City. 47.5 still over under. Kansas City -2. I'm going to take Bills money line. I think Bills can get this thing done. Give me Buffalo to win.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Bills money line is the safest bet because you take Bills +2, Chiefs end up winning by a field goal, not a field,
right?
Yeah, a field goal. So, I don't know. I think this is the first time where these two teams are evenly matched. James Cook has been looking unstoppable, and I can't like Kareem. It's Kareem Hunt mostly. They brought Isaiah Pacheco back.
Yeah,
the Chiefs don't really have a running game, and with Von, I don't know, like with the Chiefs not having a run game. I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes like doing his little skip. I'm just worried about the Bills defense, seeing as how like they're not young. You got Harrison Phillips, he's been there before. Von Miller has definitely been here before. So like you got vets right there. But then like the rest of the team, like Terrell Bernard and like the two other linebackers over there, like they really come up, they've been making plays and they come up with some hits.
Yeah.
And I think that might be, hopefully they can peel back some. I don't know how much cheating they're going to do for the Chiefs again.
That's what scares
me. How much not helmet to helmet collision, that sort of thing. But I don't know. But yeah, I'm with you on the Bills money line.
All right. So Bills money line, we're going to put it, man, it's a fat parlay just off the jump. Now, what's our other AFC pub parlay picks here?
I'm going to take James Cook 100 rushing receiving.
Plus 100 yards rushing and receiving.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. All right. I'm going to say, give me a Josh Allen anytime, Teddy.
There you go.
All right. He hasn't let me down either.
Except that, what was was it? It was the Patriots, and then it was another game. I think it was just the Patriots game, and that was the time I bet on it.
That's tough. Tough. All right. Anything else? That was the bulk of the episode. I think Fitz is going to miss out on this one, but that's okay.
Oh, gravy.
All right.
There's NBA going on. We got the Jimmy Butler drama going on.
Apparently, yeah, he's back, and all of a sudden he's getting suspended again.
Yeah, and apparently, like Kevin Love is funny, and I didn't know that, but like he's been memeing it up with this whole situation with Jimmy Butler. Apparently, Jimmy Butler is well known to be petty, so yeah. I think he came out on the court with his regular shoes, but the shoes had the Suns colorway. Trying to think if there's anything else, any other storylines in the NBA. Apparently, LeVar Ball has dropped another ball shoe, even though the other one tore Lonzo's foot all to pieces.
Right.
But yeah, they've finally, for my Wizards, they're trying to find a suitor for Kyle Kuzma, and I'm ready for that Joker to get up out of here for sure. Nothing against him. I just need him gone. Like
I didn't realize he was still in the league.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like that's how much of nothing he's doing. Then you got I need Jordan Poole gone, to be honest. I saw Jordan Poole. This man is dressed up like Harry Potter, and it pissed me off because it's like that pissed me off so bad. I need him gone. So like I feel like if those two can go, like they have a good young core. They got Bub Carrington that played at Pittsburgh, Kashawn George, Alexandre Sarr, Bilal Coulibaly, Corey Kispert. Corey Kispert is coming off the bench and giving scores. So it's like they have this young core. I just need these people who just don't give a damn and just be out there doing shit to just go find somewhere else to do shit at. Yeah, as far as NBA news, I don't know. I don't know what else is going on as far as with different teams. It's in full effect now that we're like in closer to February. What's his name? D'Angelo Russell made a point. He was in an interview and he said like this is the most free I felt playing basketball, and I think what it is. This man doesn't like playing basketball with like consequences. Like if you do something stupid, somebody's going to tell you. And I think he's playing with the Nets, and he's the vet on the Nets. He can do whatever he wants now, and he's just out there doing shit. So I don't know. We'll probably have more to say about the NBA come trade deadline, and we start seeing these trades coming to fruition and stuff. Might be some blockbusters, might not be, but we'll see.
Yeah, man. Cleveland still got the chokehold in the East, which we talked about a few weeks ago. It dumbfounds me though. All right, random question. You got one?
Random question. Ooh.
Yep. Oh.
What is the hardest fall you remember having in the snow?
Oh, dude, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I've fallen a shit ton in the snow.
Bro, I'll start. I remember staying in my when I was living at my parents' house. Oh shit, this is actually when I was younger. So when I was younger, in the little old town of Lewisburg, we have snow just like the rest of North Carolina, but we don't know how to act with snow. So when it happened, and like we actually had some inches of snow with like that little bit of ice.
Yeah.
So we used to tear up cardboard boxes and use them as sleds. we used to, and like, I was kind of hefty. Like I've been this size all my life, a little bit more round. So like I was by myself too, and I saw my cousin doing it. And like this was when Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was out too, like all games and stuff. And I knew I wasn't doing that in real life, but it was just cool to see. So I was just like, Tony Hawk made this shit look easy. So instead of sledding on my stomach and shit, I had the cardboard box. I ran and like, I I jumped and put the box up under my feet, and everything was cool until I slipped. And so like it was snow and ice, so it was soft and hard. But on top of that, like I live on a dirt path with gravel and shit. So like those little random pieces of rock. So I slipped, hit the rock hit the middle of my back. I'm like, oh, it still hurt even with like a little puffy jacket. So
yeah, dude.
you
Oh,
never
that's
have to
brutal.
worry about me doing those shit. So I'm adamantly against like snowboarding. I'm cool on it.
I love snowboarding. But that's also, I think, it's my hardest hit. It was one night in college. We used to go at nighttime, get a little flask with it. You used to have a good time. And it was probably the last run of the night, and it was cold as shit. It was probably like maybe minus, no, not minus. Might have been 3-4 degrees. It was cold.
Like 3, like 1, 2, 3, 3.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Had a sheet of ice. The beard was all icy. And I hit a thing of ice. I didn't control the board. Went straight back. Obviously wasn't rocking a helmet because fuck that. I don't remember that weekend. I was like,
oh,
yeah, the concussion, non-documented. I was CTE.
damn.
Yeah.
God.
So thankfully I didn't hit a rock.
Yeah.
Because yours sounded even more
Rocks were like
painful.
rocks, so yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, that was a good question. I enjoyed that because you start reminiscing like all the good times in snow, and it quickly fades. Like, how about the bad times?
It kind of blocked him out a little bit until like you started to remember a random pain.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Hey, dope ass episode. Appreciate it, Devontae. And these parlays are gonna hit.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna make some money, and we'll
Wait,
catch
do
you
we
guys
do
next
a
week.
pub parlay or we just gonna count that?
Oh, you want to? I'm always down to make another parlay.
Shit, might as well. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right. So I'd say NFL is probably off the table,
Yeah.
but you tell me the day, we'll make it happen.
Just keep it at Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay.
All right. All right, I'm going to go first. Hurricanes Islanders Saturday night. It's in New York. Over under set at 5.5. I'm going to take the over.
Ooh.
So Carolina Islanders plus 5.5.
Gotcha. I'm going to do for NCAA women's, you got Michigan State and Michigan. I'm going to take Michigan State money line.
Over Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Good deal. All right. 3 parlays for you listeners. 3 parlays for you watchers. One of them's got to hit. It's bound to hit.
They're two, like, what is it? Two, and two, they got to hit.
Yeah. This is it. This is the sauce. All right. We'll catch you guys next week, and hopefully Preacher Man joins us, and then we can rub 3 parlays in his face, DeMonte.
Oh, yeah.
For that money. All right. Y'all have a good weekend.
Peace.
First time on air. Anything to say to Lawan here to get him back?
Look, bro, there are stories I could tell people about Lawan, but we'll keep those right here. I'm gonna let them live.
That's not even close. It's out.
Man, I'm a dumbass.
I'm clipping that.
Georgia's second.
Hey, Georgia also had Herschel Walker.
So smart, and my team is so dumb. My coach he looks dumb. He's a big baby. This man,
graphic.